Hello everyone, we're Michael today. My name's Calvin Kingsley and welcome to How to Draw, and today we're going to be drawing Hawkeye from the Avengers. He's in actually a lot of Avengers films. He's in both Avengers The Age of Ultron, Avengers The Assemble, Avengers Civil War, which is out next year, and he's the character that everyone loves to like. He is a bowman, aka a Robin Hoodie, and he's got a bow and arrow, and yeah, he's really good because he can. A lot of people say, oh, but if you do hand to hand with him, oh, that's his weakness. Well, no, it's not. Obviously, not his weakness. You obviously don't read anything or know anything, because he is not the weakness in hand to hand. If anything, his hand to hand is equally as strong as his bow to range attack. So we're drawing muscular arms and then his hand. And his hand's going to be holding on to his very famous weapon, which is of course his bow and arrow. There's his bow. And we want to draw it roughly the same up top as what it is up bottom, and then the arrow portion with the, I believe they call it the ropey bit, and of course his bow is made from carbon fibres, and then we'll draw like a arrow holder thing in the back, on the back of his chest, on his hand, on the rear torso, and then in his other hand will just be a closed fist, like this, just a closed fist. And of course he's portrayed by Jeremy Renner in the films, and I think Jeremy Renner is absolutely excellent. The thing that I like about Jeremy Renner more than other actors or actresses is that he can play the funny guy but also the cool guy and the action guy. And the interesting thing about Hawkeye, of course, is that he's not necessarily any one of those things, but possibly lots of those things. And so we draw like the bum, and you can see just the cheeks of his bum coming on the underside of his costume at the back, and then more muscles. I'm sorry if you can hear whistling. That is a bird. That is not a human being, that is a bird, because there is a bird that lives downstairs and the owner's gone away and haven't come back for 45 days. So this is Hawkeye's costume. We're going to go classic comic book look rather than Jeremy Renner look. And so he's got a big H on his costume, like that, and then like that, and then as I said, he's got the arrow holder on the back like this, and then you can see that coming all the way over there, and then that is literally filled with arrows. And arrows look like that, so that's how you draw arrows that look like that. And then we draw his face, or his head as you may call it, as you may be familiar with calling it. And so he's got quite a detailed face. You want to draw ears like this. There's his ears, and then his mask is like this. And then his head is like this, the top of his head like that, and then there we go. Okay, then the mask comes over like that, and his eyes go, I suppose his ear goes there, like that, and then his eyes are here, And then his mouth goes here like this. And he's got, the good thing about Hawkeye is that he's got strong dental health, so you want to draw quite a wide and interesting grin on him, and then just a bit of detailing on the costume like that. And so there he is, he's ready to be coloured in now. Now any Hawkeye fan will know that he's got two main colours, and that's a turquoisey blue and purple. So start off with the blue of his helmet or mask, like that, and the rest of his costume, like all the muscles that we drew and his extremely muscular arm. The movie version, of course, of Hawkeye is a lot more concentration on the stealth aspect of it, which of course Jeremy Renner portrays to the best of his ability, and which works very well. And as such, the movie version of Hawkeye, you could actually draw exactly the same thing that I've done, but just purely colour it in black, and that will look almost exactly the same as the Marvel Cinematic Universe version of Hawkeye. And then this big H on his chest is purple, like that. Then detailing on his shirt and his gloves are purple, like that, and his boots are purple. And finally the skin colour is peach, because he's a white Caucasian man, which makes sense. And some just skin tones all over really. And then finally his quiver. Oh shoot, sorry, it's not called a quiver, I don't know why I said that, was really stupid. I don't know where I got that from. It's actually called an arrow holder. And then finally some green detailing, just shadowing from the sunburst on his chest and his buttocks and whatnot. And then finally his lips will be like a lilac-y, pinky purple. Okay, there we go guys, that is Hawkeye, based on the comic book version. This is Jeremy Renner, this is Clint Barton, Harrow, On the Hill, Michael Calpin. This is artwork. Got any requests, let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, let me know, and if you think this is incredible and the best piece of artwork you've ever seen, let me know below as well. Avengers.